Hey everyone, and welcome back to another severe storm film or weather forecast. In this forecast, we have multiple rounds of significant severe thunderstorms coming to the United States. That includes the Plains, the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, even the Great Lakes and Northeast at some point. In addition to that, I do want to expose someone for doing something absolutely ridiculous earlier, okay? All right, so we'll start with the exposing. Rackval7872, if you're watching this video, get off my channel, okay? Or I will report you myself, okay? I did not respect your comment you left earlier. Is the lightning in the room with us? What a effing exaggerator, okay? Is that a threat? Are you telling me that I'm exaggerating something? Are you telling me that I'm bad at what I do? Because if you are, then that's basically threatening me, so I can report that, thankfully, to YouTube. Okay, I was nice enough not to do that, but if you do something like that again on my channel, in my private YouTube space, I will report you and ban you somehow from my channel. I did not respect your wording there. Okay, the F-bomb was not necessary, and if I see it from any of you guys as well, you're going to be off my channel, and you're going to be reported by me, or any other cuss word, all right? And if it's negativity, if it's threatening toward me, I will also report that, okay? So think about what you post before you post it, okay? All right, now let's get into the actual weather side of things, all right? As we take a look here at the jet stream going in towards late Saturday afternoon, look at this, all right? Lots of impulses of energy traversing West Virginia back into Kentucky. This is where the focal point for severe thunderstorms will be for the rest of the day today. Otherwise, it should be pretty fine, except if you live back here toward the plains, there could be a few severe storms there as well, and tornadic activity. And then as we head in towards tomorrow, that is when more impulses of energy are going to be traversing the jet stream across the plains. A tornado and severe weather outbreak are likely across this entire area as we head in towards tomorrow. However, this area, in my mind, has the highest chance of seeing a tornado, let alone strong tornado, maybe even a violent tornado, okay? The SIG 2 threat is there for tornadoes as we head in towards tomorrow, and I think SPC will add it. As we head in towards Monday, though, I think this day has the potential to be the biggest of all days of severe weather, okay? We're going to have tons of moisture, okay? There's going to be an expansive warm sector all the way from the Gulf back up into Canada with at least 60-degree dew points. 70-degree dew points could get as far north as, New York. Okay, so it's going to be a very expansive warm sector. And with this energy running into that, you could definitely say there's the chance for severe thunderstorms anywhere in this area. Big outbreak possible on Monday, especially highlighting this area right into here. That is where I think there's a legitimate tornado risk, damaging wind, and hail risk. But that doesn't stop there, though, okay? As we head in towards Tuesday, we get more severe weather across the Great Lakes and Ohio Valley. There's probably going to be a localized risk up here. Could be an outbreak of severe weather when it comes to, maybe a line of thunderstorms, maybe a derecho-like setup if everything, sets up as forecast. And then we have another area down here to watch, and we also have this entire area to watch as well, okay? So we got lots of areas to watch for severe weather on Tuesday. As we head in towards Wednesday, it looks like the severe weather threat will kind of diminish a little bit, but it will likely kind of come back, isolated to scattered likely across areas of the southern plains. And then as we transition this into Thursday, it looks like we'll likely continue to have some severe weather across the, the eastern mid-Atlantic, somewhere around there. And then as we head in towards Friday of next week, depending on trends, if we get a resurgence of moisture, there's probably going to be some thunderstorm complexes riding the southern periphery of this jet energy. So that's something to monitor especially closely, especially as we take this in towards next weekend, all right, where we get this high to set up in the southwestern United States. If we get a shortwave to ride along the periphery of that ridge, that could spell trouble for this entire area right here when it comes to significant severe weather and the potential of an MCS setup. As we head in towards Sunday, that trough looks to move east, okay? I'm not going to dive into exact areas right now because it is a ways out there, definitely. But just know that the pattern is likely going to shift to more northerly areas when it comes to severe weather as it looks as we head in towards the end of this month and into June. All right, now let's take a look here at the actual precip trends. Okay, as we head in towards the rest of today, again, over here, significant severe weather outbreak ongoing. Okay, it's not a tornado outbreak yet, but it could be as we progress later into the evening. Strong storms still ongoing across Pennsylvania at this hour, in addition to some storms down here. As we take this into tomorrow, we will likely have a little band of storms moving across Ohio and Indiana. That might pose a risk for some gusty winds, but I don't expect severe weather from that. I'll let you guys know if anything changes this evening on my posts. But then as we head in towards tomorrow afternoon, a 994 millibar low will eject over the plains, and then boom go the storms as we head in towards tomorrow evening and in towards early Monday morning. We're likely going to be watching this entire area. Again, biggest tornado threat tomorrow, in my opinion, will be up here across areas of Nebraska, Iowa, Missouri, and areas of Kansas, okay? That's where the SPC has highlighted a moderate risk for tornadoes tomorrow, and I think they'll add a SIG 2 EF3 plus tornado potential to that as well. As we head in towards Monday afternoon, watching, first of all, this area for the potential of severe weather to start, and then we'll potentially be watching this entire area as we head throughout the rest of the day. Okay, as we headed towards late Monday afternoon, look at the storm starting to blow up across the plains. This easily has the potential of going high. Okay, moderate to high risk day on tap probably for Monday. I see the threat of significant damaging winds, probably as high as 100 miles an hour if we get that line to develop. You see, as we head in towards Monday night, that could bring 100-mile-an-hour winds through Kansas and stuff like that. But the tornado risk could absolutely be significant, especially early on when storms are discrete across Missouri, Texas, all the way back up into Iowa. The severe weather threat will continue into Tuesday, though. Again, resurging across the Ohio Valley. We're going to have to wait and watch to see if we can get any prefrontal supercells to develop across this warm sector, because if they do, there's the potential of large hail, damaging winds, and strong tornadoes. The environment's there with those impulses of energy as we headed towards Tuesday afternoon. And then along the actual cold front, there's likely going to be an extensive wind damage producing line of storms that goes through Ohio all the way back down toward Kentucky, and maybe another separate MCS that blows through the southern plains. Okay, so 2 areas to definitely watch. And then as we head in towards Wednesday, there could be a resurgence of severe weather in the mid-Atlantic and south. And then as we head in towards Thursday, probably just some heavy rain for areas of the eastern United States, maybe some isolated severe weather down there toward the Gulf. This might bring severe weather, gusty showers to areas of Minnesota and South Dakota, depending on how fast moisture can recover back that far north. That might be something to monitor on Thursday, Friday next week. And then the next big trough potentially swings in as we headed towards next weekend. Okay, it remains to be seen how much moisture can get up here, but this is a pretty significant severe weather event. Probably a damaging line of thunderstorms on Saturday, and you notice as that kind of pushes east from there as we headed towards Sunday. Okay, overall, you could just see the active trends over the course of the next 10 days and beyond, though. And you notice how that continues into the last day of May and even likely continuing into the first week or so and beyond of June as well. All right, now let's take a closer look at the severe weather threat for tomorrow, all right? And we'll briefly talk about Monday, which could be a very significant day of severe weather, okay? As we headed towards tomorrow morning, there is going to be a nasty mesoscale convective system ongoing, probably producing widespread 60 to 70 to 80 mile an hour winds through Nebraska, through Iowa. And the question is, does that get out of there in time to re-destabilize the atmosphere to fire off supercells with the second round as we headed towards tomorrow evening? Okay, if that does happen, there's going to be a very significant tornado risk in this entire area tomorrow evening. Okay, I'm being legit. I'm not hyping things up like that stupid viewer thought I was on that one video. But, I mean, yeah, you guys could be looking at the potential of strong tornadoes if these storms actually verify the way they look on here. Okay, eventually we'll see more upscale growth into a damaging wind threat with the potential of 70 to 90 mile per hour winds across those areas. But yeah, definitely a legit severe weather threat tomorrow. We could see a damaging MCS / potential derecho track through Iowa all the way back down toward Missouri. And then as we headed towards Monday afternoon, giving you guys a brief look further east, all right, as we head in towards Monday afternoon, we'll watch more storms fire across Illinois back into Michigan, where all hazards of severe weather would be possible there as well. Okay, let's take a look here at some severe weather ingredients as we head in towards tomorrow, and then we'll look at Monday. Okay, first of all, expansive warm sector. Okay, 60-degree dew points all the way through New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Indiana, Michigan, all the way back down toward Texas where 70-degree dew points are. Look at those 70-degree dew points, though, as we head in towards tomorrow evening, all right? Storms will have a lot of juice to work off with, and look at that mesoscale convective system basically outlining itself within the moisture gradient there. Like I said, the derecho threat is real as we headed towards tomorrow night and into early Monday morning, and then as we head in towards Monday afternoon, we'll see a resurgence of stuff in Indiana, back down towards Missouri and Illinois, back in towards Kansas and areas like that for the potential of a volatile severe weather outbreak. Okay, now let's take a look here at the fun stuff. Significant tornado parameter. As we take this in towards tomorrow evening, look at this spike across Iowa, across Nebraska, for the potential of damaging tornadoes, okay? That might even go up into South Dakota, Minnesota as well, okay? So you all got to watch if you live there. There could also be a little sneaky threat over here in Michigan and Ohio. That's something to watch out for, but main big risk is over here as we headed towards tomorrow. As we head in towards Monday, it looks like that tornado risk is going to start ramping up and throwing up large values across Nebraska and Kansas. And as we headed towards the afternoon, starting to see starts spiking over here as well. So big tornado threat as well as we headed towards Monday with big outbreak potential on the table. And lastly, taking a look here at the SPC outlooks. Again, there is an area here across the plains where we're mainly watching, and there's another area down here in the Ohio Valley with another shortwave potentially getting into West Virginia. A marginal risk also extends from West Virginia into Texas into the High Plains vicinity, okay? Tornado threat is elevated across the plains. Damaging wind threat is very elevated across the plains, okay? Again, 70, 80, even 90 mile an hour winds possible. And the hail threat is also elevated too. We can see those up to baseball size. So significant risks there tonight. But as we head in towards tomorrow, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, I think for one, this enhanced risk is going to be expanded way further south to include this area. And two, I think a moderate risk will absolutely be issued for this area here. Okay, tornado driven. So you guys definitely got to be staying weather aware if you live in those areas, okay? They're already highlighting a 15% tornado contour, okay? So all they need to do is put a SIG 2, and it's a moderate risk for this area, okay? Some expanding might need to be done. Like I said before, it might kind of go more like this when it comes to the enhanced risk and like this when it comes to the moderate risk. But yeah, legit risk over there for you guys. And taking a look here at your damaging wind threat. Yep, another legit risk of damaging winds tomorrow night. And looking at the hail risk again, hailstones up to baseball size will be possible from all the way from the northern plains all the way back down to the southern plains. Okay, let's take a look now at the Big Bomber Monday. Okay, what does that look like? Well, for instance, let's take a look here at our probabilities. Okay, yeah, already a SIG 2 highlighted for a lot of Kansas, northern Oklahoma. I think this is going to be expanded east. I think the enhanced risk is going to almost certainly get bumped east. And that slight risk might stay where it is pretty much. I think that's pretty good. But that enhanced risk is probably going to be expanding east. I would think, as we headed towards Monday. And a moderate risk, like I said before, probably almost necessary for this area right into here, okay? You guys saw all the supercells and stuff like that, where the low pressure system was concentrated. That's where I think we could see violent tornado potential, and that's, this might be driven off of mainly damaging winds and hail. It might be all three hazards, but I think the biggest straw to violent tornado risk right in this corridor right here. Okay, so you guys definitely ought to be weather aware if you live in any of these shadings as we head in towards Monday, because, oh my gosh, it has the potential to be a significant severe weather outbreak, okay? Taking a look here at the Storm Prediction Center outlook, folks, we're already seeing wording strong to intense tornadoes 3 days out. Okay, look at this. 2 to 4 inch hail is very, very dangerous hail, okay? And look at this up here toward, the synopsis, okay? Significant all-hazard severe storms are expected, okay? So it's not just possible. It's not a slight chance. It's a very likely chance of significant severe thunderstorms, okay? Now let's talk about the Midwest, okay? Northeast extent remains uncertain, but there is the potential of downstream destabilization, okay? Re-intensification of this morning convection as it moves east. Convection remains uncertain, however, damaging wind and hail risk appears possible in those areas. Okay, so if you live, say, in Michigan, Ohio, especially northwest Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, all the way back up into Wisconsin, back down toward, just basically those areas, you have the potential of seeing those storms firing back with damaging winds and hail. And the tornado threat is, like I said, highest in Iowa, back down toward Kansas where the triple point is. But the tornado threat is basically anywhere where you see that, okay? Now what about Tuesday, okay? Tuesday, I think, has the potential to be expanded east as well, okay? What we were looking at, I think this is going to get bumped east a whole lot as we head in towards the next couple of day 4 through 8 outlooks, okay? Or actually not day through 4, 8. It's actually going to be day 3 as we head towards tomorrow, okay? I'd expect it to look something like this. If not, maybe something like this, okay? Maybe kind of just including those northern parts too, the short waves and stuff like that, okay? Taking a look here at SPC's wording for day 4, okay? Day 4, severe potential is expected to continue, okay? Moderate to strong instability will continue to support severe storms with damaging winds and large hail, with the northern part of the southern plains northeastward into the northern Great Lakes region. Probabilities were shifted eastward and northward with this update and alignment. Continued trends for the timing and placement of the cold front, okay? So they're already talking about moving it east once more, okay? They're already kind of scooting it east now, way further east than it was yesterday. Yesterday, I think it was way back toward Kansas and all those areas, but now it's way further east, okay? I would not be shocked to see that include more of Ohio, maybe western PA, western New York, maybe back down toward western Kentucky, and parts of western Tennessee. Okay, that's what I think they could do with the next couple of updates for Tuesday, okay? All 3 days, tomorrow, Monday, and Tuesday, have potential to be significant outbreaks across these areas. Okay, all right, folks, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, if you, are thinking, should I post this on his, comment section? I mean, if you have a gut feeling and have to think twice about it, just don't post it, okay? If it's positive, post it, absolutely. If you have questions about weather, absolutely. Do not criticize me, though, and don't threaten me, okay? That's one thing I will not tolerate on my channel. So, anyways, guys, have a great rest of your night. Stay safe out there. Make sure you like and subscribe. And again, leave any comments down below if you have any questions. And please be positive and no more cussing in my comment section.